December is beautiful, magical, cozy, and fun, but it's also one of the heaviest months of the year for moms. We carry the holiday magic, the emotional climate of the entire household, and the to-do list that never ends. And if you've been snapping more than usual, or waking up tired, or forgetting things you normally remember, or just feeling numb, you might be missing some of the early signs that your system is crying out for rest. Today, I'm sharing the 5 biggest warning signs that you're approaching burnout and powerful, simple things that you can do instead of just pushing through. This episode is your permission slip to slow down, breathe, and reconnect with yourself. Let's dive in. Welcome to Imperfect Momming. Our children are constantly looking to us for examples. The term role model doesn't quite cut it here. We are shaping their worldview with every move we make. You see, it's not in the lectures we give or moments where we're actively attempting to teach them. It's in the micro movements we make, the unconscious ways in which we navigate life. We are constantly teaching our children how to show up for themselves, their friends, their future partners, and even their future children. So what can we do to ensure we are raising thoughtful, compassionate, self-aware human beings? We have to become them ourselves. No one is perfect, but we can all still be better, and it starts with self-healing. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Imperfect Momming. I'm your host, Alysia Lyons, and I'm really excited about this topic today. I'm recording this at the beginning of December, a month where if you weren't burned out before, you might be feeling a little stressed, a little chaotic, maybe even a little crazy. It depends on what you've said yes to, what feels aligned, and what your past experience of this time of year has been. There are so many factors that contribute to the stress of this season, and some of the stress isn't even ours. Mom burnout is something a lot of us may not have language for, but we are living it. So today I want to share 5 warning signs that you need rest, and more importantly, what to do instead of pushing through. The first warning sign that you need rest is that you're snapping at everyone over the small things. You're irritable over little things like noise, interruptions, spills, especially when those things don't normally bother you. Or you feel like you're just one moment away from erupting. I remember the first time my son snapped at me. I think he was about 8. It was like this prepubescent hormonal moment. A different version of me might have said, "Don't you dare talk to me that way." But what actually came out of my mouth was, "Hey, that's not how you normally talk to me. What's going on? Are you okay?" And that question gave him permission to say he wasn't okay, and also that he wasn't ready to talk about it yet. So we put a pin in it for later. And when we came back, he was able to tell me what happened, what upset him, and what we can do to handle it in a more supportive way. Those moments are happening every day in our homes. But when we're burned out and overwhelmed, and our kids snap at us, our default reaction is often to snap right back. And that reaction is actually a sign that we need more rest. So, what to do instead? In those moments, I want to invite you to practice the pause. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your stomach, and take 3 deep breaths. Let's do this together now. Do you feel a tiny bit calmer? I know I do. That simple pause can bring you back to this moment and into your body. I heard something today. If you're thinking about yesterday, you're angry. And if you're thinking about tomorrow, you're worried. I don't know if I 100% agree with the anger part, but it does feel accurate a lot of the time. And I know for sure that when we're thinking about tomorrow, it's usually because we're worried. Some of the times my son talks about what's happening in the future, it's usually because he's worried about it. And I'm sure you've heard that old saying that 90% of the things that we worry about don't ever happen. And the other 10% are not as bad as what we thought they would be. So let's practice just thinking about today, right now, what's happening in this moment, because we spend way too much time in the past or in the future. And really, the only moment we have is this one that we're in right now. So back to the breathing. We breathe all day long, but most of us breathe very shallowly. Our body depends on deep internal breath. So if it feels kind of weird to pause in the middle of the day and just take those 3 breaths, a couple of things you could do is step away and go to the bathroom, go to your bedroom, or step outside for a moment. The deep air from outside is going to do wonders, but it's really important to take those deep breaths and let your nervous system rest. I'll go on another little tangent here to prove just how powerful those 3 breaths can be. A couple years ago, there was a threat to my son's school district where there was a threat that was called into the high school. And my school's response is to shut down all of the schools in the district. And so these junior high kids, first year in junior high, first time this is happening, are terrified. They don't know what's going on. And one girl in my son's class was hyperventilating. And my son had just learned this calm down technique that I had taught him when he was having a stressful moment learning about math. And when the student started hyperventilating, he taught her to put her hand on her chest and her hand on her stomach and to start breathing. And she actually calmed down mid panic attack. Nothing else had changed. They weren't suddenly released. They weren't suddenly having less stress in the moment. It was simply hand on the heart, hand on the stomach, and breathing deeply that shifted everything for this little girl. So in these moments of stress, you can also name what you're feeling. I'm overwhelmed, not angry. I'm tired. I just need a minute. This is good modeling for our children. They have these big emotions that we have too. And if you grew up in my generation, our parents didn't have these tools. They didn't have this awareness. They didn't know how to teach emotional intelligence because it wasn't taught to them. It wasn't even a thing until recently. But now that it's more mainstream, there's almost this expectation that we need to teach our children emotional intelligence. And if you weren't taught, you may not feel equipped to teach. So these are the moments where you can really ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Am I angry? And you might get a response. No, I'm not angry. I'm overwhelmed. Start giving that a try, and I guarantee you, your kids will start modeling this behavior right back to you. It's fascinating. In these moments, if there's someone that you can lean on, say, hey, I need a minute. Can you stay with the kids for a second? And if you're a single parent, believe me, I've been there. You may not always have someone physically there to tap in. Sometimes the support is texting a friend or a coach or just saying, I'm having a moment. Back to the modeling. Your kids, it's going to be the cutest thing ever when your little 3-year-old says to you, Mommy, I'm having a moment. Taking these micro breaks is something that can have a profound effect on your mood, on taking you out of that stressful moment. So going to the bathroom, or even better, like I said, go outside for 60 seconds in the fresh air or in the silence. Sometimes that little reset is enough to keep you from erupting. And not erupting can go a long way towards eliminating guilt for the eruption that happens after the fact. The second warning sign is that you're exhausted even after sleeping. You wake up tired, your midday crash hits earlier and harder, your body feels heavy, like you're dragging yourself through the day. And a lot of us moms aren't even getting a full night's sleep. But I'm talking about those times where you do get decent sleep and you're still tired. Many of us are carrying a huge sleep debt, which is a whole nother topic. So, what to do instead? One thing you can do is an energy check-in and ask, what energy am I carrying that isn't mine? Lately, I've been doing a cord cutting practice every morning. I imagine myself gently releasing energetic cords from people I've interacted with where the connection is no longer serving me. We all have these invisible energetic cords. You know you have one with someone when you think of them and they immediately call or text you. That's connection. We want some of those cords with our kids, our spouse, people who love us, but we also pick up cords with people we've chatted with at the grocery store or the car next to us in traffic when we've had a little road rage, people we interacted with once and never saw again. I'm not going to pretend that I fully understand how it works because I don't. I just know that I've had a lot more energy since I started releasing the ones that aren't serving me. And that's actually how I language it. I ask to cut the cords of the people that are connected to me that are no longer serving me. Because again, I don't know how it works, and maybe I need a cord connected to my mom or to my friends. But when it's no longer serving me, I know that cord is going to be cut. If that feels too far out for you, that's okay. You can still ask, what energy am I carrying that isn't mine? Because we all do this. Our partner has a bad day, and suddenly we have a bad day. Our kid is anxious, and we start carrying their anxiety plus our own. Maybe your mom worried 24/7, so now you do too, even if your child isn't actually in danger all day long. Another powerful tool is gentle movement. A quick 5 to 10 minute walk can reset your nervous system. My dogs are always thrilled for a walk, and if you have kids, they're probably thrilled too. They feel your stress. Walking together gives everyone a little reset. And finally, simplify your day. Look at your to-do list and pick one thing to delegate, delay, or delete. In my business, I once had a super intricate podcast promotion schedule. I was doing way more than was necessary. And once I sat down and looked at it honestly, I was able to delegate some of it and delete a bunch of it, and everything felt lighter. At home, when I've worked longer hours, I've asked my partner, can you empty the dishwasher? Or can you handle dinner tonight? And sometimes, if you don't have someone who can cook, the answer is gather up, guys, let's get some takeout and then let someone else cook and do the cleaning. You're allowed to choose the lighter option. Delegating, delaying, and deleting the things that are on our to-do list is probably one of the most powerful tools that I've learned recently. We can delegate our chores to our children. There are age-appropriate chores at almost every age. One client that I had was delegating emptying the dishwasher to her 2-year-old. The whole dishwasher? No. But the silverware, absolutely. A 2-year-old can take silverware out of a basket and put it into a drawer. You might need to tidy it up a little bit afterwards, and maybe you don't. But that is something that's age appropriate, minus sharp knives, etc. We can use our judgment, obviously, on any of this advice that I give, but there are absolutely age-appropriate chores for almost every age. If that's something that you're interested in, let me know below and I'll get you a copy of the one that I've created. A third warning sign is that you're forgetting things that you normally remember. Walking into a room and forgetting why you're there. I think we've all done this at one point or another. My mom says it gets more frequent as you get older, but it is a sign. Maybe you're missing appointments or tasks. I know in the past when I've been working for other companies, when I wasn't getting enough sleep and my brain wasn't coming online, and it's like there's things that I know how to do, and I just couldn't remember how to do it when I wasn't getting enough sleep. You may feel scattered and then guilty on top of it. I really don't know a single mom who hasn't done the walk into a room and forget why thing. Honestly, that might be the first 5 years of motherhood for a lot of us. And those first 5 years of motherhood, we're exhausted, underslept, overworked, underpampered. And that forgetfulness makes sense. So, what to do instead? One of my favorite tools is a brain dump. Write everything down. We carry around a mental to-do list. Get it out of your head and onto paper. I can't tell you the number of times I've felt overwhelmed by my mental to-do list and then wrote it down and it turned out to be 3 or 4 things total. Half of them didn't need to be done today, some didn't need to be done at all, and others could be delayed or delegated. Your brain will lie to you and tell you it's everything all at once and it must get done now. But paper tells the truth. After you get your brain dump done, look at that list and pick a maximum of 3 things that need to get done today. Things that can't be done tomorrow, things that have a deadline, things that are really important to you. Get those things done. Don't add more to the list. We don't have to be constantly doing. We aren't human doings. We are human beings. Give yourself the permission to do 3 really important things today and let the rest go. So you can ask yourself, do I have enough food in the house to avoid a grocery run today? Will anything collapse if I don't fold the laundry right now? Is this truly urgent or just making noise in my head? 99% of the time, life doesn't fall apart because something waits another day. My sister-in-law, who has 4 kids under 7, told me something brilliant on Thanksgiving. She said the best thing she ever did was stop folding socks. She buys one brand for all 4 kids, washes them, and tosses them in a bucket, and the kids grab whatever pair they want. Honestly, that's next level momming. Simple, effective, zero guilt. I also have a client who doesn't match her socks at all. They're not all the same. They're totally different brands. It doesn't matter to her. They don't match. They're silly. She does it on purpose. And her kid, he does it on purpose too. It's fun. I think we take ourselves way too seriously sometimes. You can say out loud, I'm not failing. I'm overloaded. When you pause and reflect, you can call back your energy from places it doesn't belong and direct it to what truly matters. The 4th warning sign is feeling numb, disconnected, or checked out. And I want to add something important here. If you feel like you need a break from your kids, that's a huge sign that something needs to shift. Not because needing a break is wrong, it's not. But because needing a break from the things that normally bring you joy means you're under a level of emotional strain your system wasn't built to hold. Numbness looks like going through the motions, feeling disconnected from joy, feeling detached from your kids or yourself, blanking out during conversations, losing interest in things that used to light you up. For me, the last time I felt the most numb was during my divorce. It was over 12 years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was in what I call the pit of despair. Everything felt gray. I couldn't feel joy. I couldn't feel anything. I needed breaks from my son, which made me feel like a terrible mom. But looking back, nothing about that time was normal. I didn't have tools back then. I didn't know how to self-support. I was doing the best that I could with what I had. And that's why I teach this now. I wish I had those tools back then. And I will tell you that it wasn't a snap of the finger to come out of the pit of despair. First, I started feeling not sad, which I confused for happy. But not sad isn't happy. And my partner would point out to me, "You look really depressed." And I would honestly say to him, "This is the happiest I've ever felt," because that was true. But then as I let go of more and more of the emotional weight that I'd been carrying around my whole life, I started noticing that there is a difference between not sad and happy. So what you can do instead is try a sensory reset. Light a candle, drink some warm tea, stretch, hold something soft, wrap yourself in a cozy blanket, step outside for a quick breath. Your senses are the fastest way to wake up your nervous system when everything feels muted. You can also ask your body, what do you need right now? Comfort, connection, or quiet? And then give it exactly that. I had a client going through a divorce who did a 5 senses gratitude practice every day. One thing she could see, one thing she could touch, one thing she could taste, one thing she could smell, and one thing she could hear. At first, she wasn't feeling grateful. She was just writing the words or speaking them out loud. After a few days, the feelings started to catch up. Sometimes it takes a minute for your heart to return. And if you need support, reach out. Message a safe friend, a coach, or drop a comment below. You don't have to do this alone. The 5th warning sign is overfunctioning, doing everything because it's easier to do it myself. A couple of months ago, my son told me, if you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself. And he was telling me that I need to do it myself if I want it done right, meaning he doesn't have to do it. It was a decent effort at trying to get out of his chore. But I said, nope, I am not falling for that trap. That is the belief that creates burnout. That is the belief that traps you into doing everything for everyone. Let's talk about what overfunctioning really looks like. Taking on everyone else's tasks, carrying other people's emotions, managing every detail so no one else has to, feeling resentful while doing all the work, being the default parent, by default, loading the dishwasher because no one else does it right, picking up the living room because it's faster if I do it, preventing your kids from a meltdown because you don't know how to handle their emotions. That was me, back in the pit of despair. Cleaning up messes that aren't yours, taking responsibility for things that people are perfectly capable of doing. It's exhausting, and it disconnects everyone, including you, from their power. Here's what to do instead. Number 1, pause and ask, is it truly mine to carry? This task, this emotion, this responsibility. Number 2, delegate one thing today. It can be tiny, like asking your child to put their cup in the sink, but you don't have to carry it all. And number 3, practice receiving. Let someone help you without rushing in to fix it or redo it. And if someone says yes and doesn't follow through, offer a gentle reminder. Hey, do you remember when you said you would put your dish away? Could you do that now? It's so tempting to do it ourselves. And every time we do, we reinforce the belief that we have to. And that's how we burn out. I hope you found this video helpful. Comment below and tell me something new you learned today, or something you've heard before but want to finally implement. If you've made it to the end of this video, you are someone who truly wants more peace in your life. And I want to invite you to take my peace quiz at alysialyons.com/peace quiz. It'll show you which areas of your life need the most attention and which ones you're already doing well in. When I was in the pit of despair, all I wanted was peace. And that's what I want for you. Thanks for watching and/or listening. And until we meet again, keep healing. Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Imperfect Momming. It's time for us to step up and realize that our power is not in trying to shape our children. Our power lies in shaping ourselves into the people we want our children to model themselves after. Don't just do it for your kids. Do it for yourself. When you become a more self-aware, compassionate, and confident person, you and everyone around you benefit. For more information about me and my work, visit alysialyons.com. That's ALYSIALYONS.com. And until we meet again, keep healing.